Hello. Today we're going to talk about percents. We've been working on ratios and how a ratio is a comparison between a part of something to the whole of something, or a part of something to another part of something. Well, percents actually relate to this because they are relating a part of something to 100 of that thing. So what portion out of 100 are we looking at? So when you go to the store and you see something is 75% off, that means that you're paying, well, if it's 75% off, you're going to pay 25% of the price. So for every $1, you'll pay 25 cents for every $1 if it's 75% off. So it's a really important practical thing that we're learning today. We use percentages all the time. At least I do. I love a good discount. We also use it when we figure our taxes. We also do it when we figure our tips. So a lot of really good stuff that we're going to do here. Your essential question is, what is the connection between ratios, fractions, and percents? You should be able to know the answer to that, basically how those three things relate. And actually, we can also include in there, if we wanted to, decimals, because understanding that ratios, fractions, and percents and decimals can all be connected. My outcome, so this is what you should be able to do by the end of this lesson. I can solve problems that involve finding a percent. So you should be able to solve problems that require you to find a percent. Well, if you need to pause that video to go back to those key pieces of information at the beginning, you can. But I'm going to move right along. By the way, this lesson is from Big Ideas Math 218 to 230, lessons 5.5 and 5.6. So we're going to start off with some definitions. So first off, a percent, and that's a key term, so I'm going to circle it. A percent is a part to whole ratio where the whole is 100. So you can write a percent as a fraction with the denominator of 100. So you can write a percent as a fraction with a denominator of 100. So we're going to do some examples of this. So the first example, if we did 60% equals 60 out of 100. So 60 to 100, that would be your ratio. 60% is 60 out of 100. And that equals 60 over 100. This would be your part. This is your whole amount. And that little line right here, so this little line, that line is, we call that the per line, or it's in a ratio. When we see that little fraction line, we would say the word per. So there's 60 per every 100 total. So make sure that you're using that phrase, per. It's important. Algebraically speaking, you could say it as n percent, or any percent, equals n over 100. The next thing, writing fractions as percents. So you're going to write an equivalent fraction with the denominator what you do is you write an equivalent fraction with the denominator of 100. Okay, so I'm going to show this a couple different ways. The first one is we're going to do, so if I took 1/4, and if I wanted to change that to a percent, I would make it equal to another fraction with a denominator of 100. Then I would figure out how many times does 4 go into 100. Well, I know that 4, because I know quarters in dollars, 4 times 25 equals 100. Okay, so if I'm multiplying the bottom by 25 to get to there, then I have to do the same thing to the top. Well, 1 times 25 equals 25. Anytime you have a number per 100, you have a percent, so this would equal 25%. Well, we can do this another way. So we could actually do base 10 blocks. So we could write 35% as a fraction in simplest terms. Okay, so this was one example. So to do this, I can take and actually draw a base 10 block. So I am drawing a square.
Morning. Are we good for Football Friday, next Friday?
Yeah, I was taking notes.